Hello at Mac. This is a very special episode that we're bringing to you. I'm here with
Addie Bratzler
and Elijah Morlett.
And I'm Ethan Rash. So this is a very special one. It's the Teacher of the Year for Mr. Elijah Morlett here, and he's very special to us. He's been our teacher for speech and broadcasting and yearbook, and he has helped us with all our shows that we produced and everything in the yearbook that we have done for that amazing yearbook that we just released. By the way, check that out. And so yeah, this is very special to us, and let's get into it.
So who or what would you say influenced you the most as a child to become a teacher?
That's a rough one to answer because so many people who were willing to believe in me and give me a chance. I mean, you're talking from childhood on to high school. Geez, Miss Foley, Miss Brown, Miss Montgomery, Miss Frazier, middle school, Mr. Hawthorne, Mrs. Young, the same Mrs. Young that was teaching here a couple of years ago.
Really?
High school, my ROTC instructors, if anything, that might have been the biggest one for me. Colonel James Taylor, Colonel James Yarborough, Sergeant Major James Yarborough, Master Sergeant Richard LaMonica, these guys who always backed me up and said, you can do this. These guys who always tried to give me and instill in me this confidence that I definitely needed. Mr. Hunsucker, Mr. Dalton, Miss Mitchell, the list can go on. I still keep in touch with one of my elementary principals, Mr. Prince, who still encourages me to this day. There's some pretty amazing people out there.
Had a big team behind you.
Yes, always.
Got to have a big village around you to make a great person. So I have to ask you, out of all those amazing people, I know it's hard and you probably can't, who is your favorite teacher and why?
I gotta give props to my RTC instructor, my JRTC instructors again. In high school, it definitely would have been Sergeant Major Yarborough, who watched over me all 4 years of high school. Colonel Taylor, who gave me the opportunities to lead, and Sergeant LaMonica, who stayed on me until I did it. And then in college, most definitely Dr. Christopher Keller and Dr. Dan Shabbat. If anything, a lot of the things that I probably teach you guys are a direct connection to them. So they've definitely molded me and pushed me down this path.
Good. So when you were young, did you always know you wanted to be a teacher?
No.
Really?
No. That wasn't until high school. My goal, my father served in the Korean and Vietnam Wars, and he was retired when I got out. Oh, when I was he was retired when I was born. But he always raised me in a military environment, and I wanted to follow my dad's footsteps. That's the whole point of me joining JROTC and wanting to enlist in the military. I enlisted in the Army National Guard at 17. I wanted to follow my dad's footsteps. But those guys, the JROTC instructors, those men, they got something out of me that I didn't know I had. Like, the ability to be able to look at myself and say, I can do this. Like I said, to have that confidence. I knew then I wanted to join the military, finish my career, and give back the way they gave to me.
Did you not always have confidence? Was it hard for yourself to have confidence?
No, I don't think I had. Growing up, I didn't have as much confidence as some people believed. It definitely took someone telling me to that you can do it, and keep repeating that. Yeah, I really would give so much credit to my teachers who did that for me.
So in your life, you have had 3 really amazing careers. You joined the Army, you became a journalist, and then you became a teacher. So what made you, I know that you said that you wanted to join the Army because of your father and the JROTC instructors, but what made you want to become a journalist and then become a teacher?
So my first job in the military was a chaplain's assistant. I wanted to work ministry. When I got to college, I changed my major. I ended up changing my major after doing some fraternity work. I learned that I love public affairs. I love storytelling, something that I probably got from my father. it was a blast. I enjoyed promoting all these things, learning about all these different people and telling their story. That became a passion enough that it ended up leading me to change jobs in the Army National Guard to public affairs. So the last thing I did in public affairs, in the Army was I got to tell the story of the soldier and their families and the amazing things they get to accomplish in the state of Oklahoma. I mean, it was, again, something that I hope that I got to share with some of you guys and learning about people and telling their stories. When I got diagnosed with a condition, I also got a back injury. That was ending my military career. My wife, my amazing wife who teaches here at MacArthur Middle School, Bethany Morlett, if you know, she told me, if you know you wanted to teach, if you knew that was the end goal in the military, why are you stopping now? Why can't you just go out and teach? Why can't you go to get your certifications? And it turns out in that time frame when we were talking about this, I had just enough time to sign up for the Troops to Teachers program, which helped me get all my certifications, and now I'm here. It actually happened to be the current interim principal now, Mr. Mark Mattingly. It was a job fair, and I showed my resume. Yeah, I'm a public affairs soldier and a journalist. He was like, wow, I need a yearbook teacher. I couldn't have lined up better.
That was perfect. So do you think the Troops to Teacher, is that one of the things that was like, I'm going to become a teacher, I'm going to do this?
That's when it became real for me. That's when I knew, like, okay, this is actually going to happen. And, I think I would stay to the time I have with all these things that have happened. I couldn't imagine it my first year. But yeah, that's when it became real for me. Like, this is going to happen. And then the job fair and Mr. Mattingly, and then later Ms. Stever, who gave me that first interview. It all worked out.
So how has teaching really impacted your life?
Man. In what way?
Well, from, your students, talking to them every day, improving their life, from changing your life goals and your lifestyle, really like what has impacted your life, what changed your life becoming a teacher?
You all, the students, you all make such an impact to every adult in here, and I don't think you realize that. You are the reason why we come to school every day. You all are... We learn, as adults, I promise we learn just as much from you guys as you may learn from us. Whether it be about what's going on in the world, what trends are happening, if anything, I probably learned a lot about myself talking with you guys, or understanding what middle school was like. I often tell you guys middle school is the most awkward time that you're ever going to have in your lives. Easily. You've heard me say that several times.
Yeah.
And I think, Addie, like leaving middle school, looking back, we've had our conversation. This is different.
We've come a long way.
But, in the time that we're all trying to, around 11 to 14 years old, trying to figure out who we are and what we want to be and what's going to happen in high school, and these goals, bigger goals than we've ever had to imagine, right? That part's fun.
Yeah.
Getting to learn with you guys and explore new things, that part is fun. And so now that I'm a father myself of my 9-month-old daughter, I'm hoping that I've learned enough with you guys to help her out some when the time comes.
I'm sure you'll do amazing.
Yeah, that's great. That's true. You do change a lot in middle school. We all know Addie went through her visco and emo stage in 6th grade.
I was never emo. Okay, let me set that straight. I was never emo. Why are you going to call me out like that? That hurt. Okay, well, going back to the awkward and all the different phases of personalities, why middle school students? Why us? Out of all students, you had to pick the most awkward stage ever.
Well, that's who hired me. That's the school that hired me.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't. I tell my coworkers this. When I started, I completely forgot what middle school was like. And it didn't take me long to realize why I forgot what middle school was like, or why I wanted to forget what middle school was like. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure if I wanted to stay in middle school after my first year. Now this is coming up to the end of my 8th year, and y'all have to force me to leave now.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to have to push me to leave because I love it here. Yeah, it's an odd time in life, and it's all the awkward moments, but I know I needed someone to tell me it ain't that bad.
Yeah.
You guys got this. I needed someone when I was 12, 13-year-old telling me that, because that was weird.
Yeah.
That time was weird. And I'm just hoping that I can be that person to some of y'all.
You were always that person that I could go to if I ever needed anything, if I ever wanted to talk about how I was feeling. You were always there for any of us,
I'm glad to know that. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Not only a teacher, but a counselor and a friend. So I got to ask you, out of all the classes, why did you choose yearbook and speech and broadcasting to teach?
Yearbook was a perfect transition for me. Oh man, I was working at the Lawton-Constitution. I was writing, I was shooting photos when I could. And again, public affairs, doing broadcasting and writing for the Department of Defense, or the Army National Guard. That was taking what I did professionally and teaching you guys how to do it.
Yeah, it really was. I think it was because I've learned so much from these classes, not just about, how to write, how to do this, but it's about growing up and it just helps out a lot. It really does.
Also, we learn a lot about the real outside world in your class, because a lot of your lessons you teach news stories, things that happen in real life, and that's important, and I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What's your favorite part about teaching? Like, what's the number one thing that you love about it?
When y'all get to publish your byline. I actually had a teacher come up to me one time, and she had asked me, I bet you're happy seeing your name pop up everywhere. And I said, not really. It didn't really matter to me that much, because I've already spent my time as a journalist. I've had my pictures published from, the United States Army all the way to local organizations. I've had it from the Chronicle to Okie Magazine and Lawton Constitution. I've had my name out there already. It's y'all's turn. The happiest moments is when you guys see your work produced, when you guys see your live stream going, when y'all get this, when you get to show your parents, look at the show I made. That's the happiest time I have. Really, when I get to, if I'm managing a social media page and I'm seeing your grandparents just loving on y'all in the comments, like, look at my baby, look at my grandbaby. I've seen you, Ethan. I think I've seen your mother comment before. Just y'all's family is so proud. That's what we want to show. We want to show everything that's good that's happening at MacArthur and everything that y'all are accomplishing. We scratched some of that this year. We got to do some of that. We wanted to do more. We're gonna do more next year. But that's it right there. That's the proudest moment, is when you guys get to have your byline out, when you guys get to see the production, everyone gets to see y'all's work. That's just awesome. And again, I know I've told some of y'all this over the year. Some of this equipment here I didn't get to touch till college. And even further, some of it wasn't until I was working professionally as a public affairs soldier. Y'all get this in middle school. Yes, let's be proud and get some good content out.
Yes.
Man, and that's true. I don't know how many times, if y'all don't know, I have Mac Center that I produce and I run all that, And I don't know how many times it's crazy to me when Mr. Morlett comes in, hey, this teacher was talking about your show, saying she loves it and all that. And that just, you get that feeling, you're like, man.
And y'all got to know. And the amount of times that we've had teachers or people, even when I was going for my Teacher of the Year interview, and I had people from the Shoemaker Center saying, yeah, we've seen your shows. Y'all are doing a great job. That's awesome. That's fun.
So I have to ask you, how have we as a class impacted you this year?
I think, oh man, I'm looking around here and I'm looking at the class sitting in the background. Y'all, I don't think it's just the impact you've made on me. It's the impact you guys have made on this school. It's the impact you've made on our athletes and our teachers, our students, our organizations. If anything, with the stories we produced this year, from taking on a very emotional story about the Oklahoma City bombing to rushing to get an interview ready with the Lawton's mayor.
Yep.
If anything, this year y'all have shown me that, yeah, we can do this. We can even go bigger.
Yeah.
We can take on these large stories. We can, this class and everyone sitting over watching, y'all have taught me we can do so much more, and we need to for our students. I can't tell you honestly how proud y'all have made me all year. So thank you guys.
That's great.
Thank you, really.
And I'll be honest with y'all, we don't have much time left, but I just have to say I need to brag on this guy real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know how much times he's stayed up late, talking to people all the time, getting prompts for us to get all this equipment, and it's really great. And he's just been there for us all year, making us these shows and doing all of that. And, you know, this was our very special episode of At Mac. Thank you for joining us. Please watch all of our other shows. And if you're watching this, please make this man Teacher of the Year.
Yes, please. He so deserves it. He sets the standard for any teacher any student would want.
Well, let me throw this out there now. Thank you guys. And for me, it's honestly just an honor to be with those amazing Teacher of the Year candidates up there, and we'll find out tonight. So good luck to all. It'll be I believe 6 p.m. at Eisenhower Middle School. It'll be live streamed. There's some awesome teachers up there, guys. Show them your appreciation.
Thank you for watching.